Black Friday is a scam, man. It's not real. Today's Sunday and we're still talking about Black Friday, but I just want to get this out there to tell you that Black Friday is the biggest marketing scheme and scam that's kind of out there in the world right now. It's not real, so stop believing it's real. And I'm going to give you some guidelines as to how to handle Black Friday, how to go through it. I'm coming out here with the energy today. It's not going to be this type of slow paced, light kind of like wisdom video. No, this is energy. I'm coming out here and energy. I'm going to tell you exactly why Black Friday sucks. It's not real. So don't be fooled into thinking that it's real. Basically, insider sales marketing tip for Black Friday. People will talk about Black Friday and sell you stuff, sell you Black Friday like a month before Black Friday actually is there. And then weeks after Black Friday ends, they will say, oh, you missed the Black Friday deals, so here are these deals. And all it is to just get your business. Maybe maybe you'll get some sort of an actual deal. Maybe, I don't know. Depending on the thing you're trying to buy. Like for the most part, it's not actually a real deal. You're getting 20% off of something that maybe 6 months ago was actually already that price. They recently raised the prices, and then for Black Friday, bring it down. It's all a marketing scheme, and it's a technique, is a way to get people to buy more stuff and get people more business, right? Get more business in. And they do that. A lot of freaking stores do that, man, where they increase the prices like a few months before Black Friday just to drop them to their original prices on Black Friday and say it's Black Friday. But in reality, it's just the normal price. Sure, again, like some things you can get cheap. I recently just bought a couple things, and of course I'm going to do some Christmas shopping. So, you might actually be able to get some things a little bit cheaper than what they were before. But for the most part, it is just one big scheme. It is just one big lie that is to say, oh, you can get all these things for cheap. It's like, they're not really. Not really. And again, like Black Friday is an opportunity for salespeople, for marketing people to just, lie to you, right? Lie to you and say, Black Friday, Black Friday, Black Friday. But in reality, like, a lot of these things are not Black Friday deals. You're just using the word Black Friday as a way to get people to buy, right? As a selling technique. But in reality, it's just like either it's the same price that it's always been, or it was higher, but because they raised the prices earlier and then they bring it low to the normal price of what it should be, but they say, oh, 20% off, whatever. So my guideline for Black Friday is, go out there, right? See what's up. Black Friday weekend, it's here, right? Black Friday was 2 days ago. We had Saturday, today's Sunday, and, Cyber Monday, right? So go check it out. Go to the mall, go to some stores. It's the best time to do your Christmas shopping. You might get a couple of things for $10, $20 off for the most part. It's a good time to go and try. But don't expect to oh, I'll buy $500 worth of stuff for $300. That's the lie. It's like, no, you're not going to save that much money. And most you save 10 to 20 bucks. And I mean, for the vast majority of people, 10, 20 bucks doesn't really mean anything. Obviously, I don't know your situation. If it means something to you, great. Great. Like, amazing. Go out there. Could get that thing that you want for a little bit cheaper. But for the most part, like $10 on something doesn't actually make a movable difference as to whether or not you're going to buy something. It's just the idea of Black Friday that pushes people into that impulse, which is to say, oh, it's Black Friday, so it's never going to be this low. I've people have told me stories, right? It's like where it's like they would go to like a sports store to get a pair of shoes that they said was a Black Friday deal and it was 20% off. So he was like, oh, I got to buy it now. I got to buy it now because the prices are going to go up. And then he came back to the store like 2 weeks later, it was the same price. So I think that's a great example to say that Black Friday really doesn't mean anything. And it is just salespeople, marketing people's heaven in terms of the amount of sales they'll make. But in terms of actual people saving money, you're not actually going to be saving that money. So, go out there, try it, see it. If you do save 10, 20 bucks, that's really all you can hope for. And that's a good thing. It's a positive thing. So, you want to save as much money as possible, of course. And we're spending, if you're buying the Christmas gifts, of course, it's an important thing, right? You probably, depending on what you're buying, right? It depends on what you buy. I saw a Nintendo Switch 2 for it was this freaking crazy combo of Switch 2 with Mario Kart and Nintendo Switch Online subscription. All of that for $700. I mean, I don't think that's bad, to be honest. I think that's freaking solid. because I know that the Switch could be like 600 depending on where you buy it, and the game could be 100 probably, and then the Switch Online is probably 25 for a year, and plus tax. You know, if you're bundling it together in this Black Friday deal that I saw, and it's like, okay, yeah, you might be saving like $50 if you bundle it all together, right? Okay, it's cool, but that's still $700, right? Like, don't forget. So understand that, especially for bigger purchases, if you're going to be buying bigger things, absolutely understand that like Black Friday again, it'll be like exactly like that. You know, it'll still be expensive. Like, what's 650 to 600? What's 750 to 700? Right? You're saving $50 because you bundled it together because it's a special Black Friday deal. But like, it's still super expensive. So I think, the best way to handle Black Friday is to understand, go out there, see what's up, see what's there, but don't like just be so ready to buy. Don't have that impulse. Oh, I have to buy it because it's Black Friday. No, no. For the most part, the prices will either stay the same, they won't even go up anyway, or the prices, they're not even on a deal anyway, and they're just it's just a marketing technique. So don't be like, if you see something that's actually worth it and it's actually a good Christmas gift or something, and it's actually worth picking up because it's $20, $30 cheaper, go do it. Amazing. Like, I have things that you can see off screen just over there that we picked up for like $20 cheaper than it was yesterday. So that's a good thing. Go and do it. But understand that be intentional, right? Be intentional with your shopping, with your money, right? That's kind of a good rule of thumb for life. Is what you do with your money. And Black Friday is just another way to make you spend money, when in reality, if you don't need to spend money, don't do it. If you're buying Christmas gifts, go out and look, right? But don't like be the impulse buyer, right? Where you just see something like, oh, I have to buy it, right? No. Calm yourself down, relax, understand, word of God, patience, right? Patience, Bible talks about patience. So understand, be patient. Understand that it doesn't have to be right now, because that's what Black Friday makes you think, is that, oh, it's right now, it's only limited time offer, right? There's all these marketing techniques and stuff, and it's like, calm down, because it's not real, right? Just relax, it's not real. At most, it's a $20 saving. For bigger purchases, that doesn't make a difference at all, as I've just said. I gave you the example that I did with where I saw the Switch 2. So understand that yes, it can be a good thing. You might save some money, but don't go out there with impulse buy. Don't be an impulse buyer. It's really the ultimate goal. Don't be an impulse buyer, because that's what Black Friday is targeted towards. Impulse buyers, people that upon one thing are waiting for Black Friday deals to get the best price on stuff, when in reality, like, for the most part, it's not really a better price, or it's not really that big of a difference. So understand that there are all these techniques. There will be people that lie to you, people that overstretch certain things. That's to say, oh, it's a Black Friday deal. I've seen that many, many times, where it's like, it's a Black Friday deal, but then it's like you have to bundle it with something, or you got to get something with it, and then or it's just like, oh, there's some extra fee involved that kind of brings it back up to the original price anyway. Whatever way these big companies try and famose you and finesse you into thinking it's a Black Friday deal. Many of these things are out there. So just go out there and be intentional when you're doing your Black Friday shopping. You're doing your Christmas shopping. Again, most people do it around this time of year, because it's a good time, because you might save $20, $30. But understand that for the most part, it really is just all talk, right? It's all just one big facade, and just one big storm of just nothingness, really. It's all just impulse buying, FOMO, all that kind of stuff. They're like, selling techniques that kind of go to their extremes during the time of Black Friday. So understand that. In my opinion, like, the best way to save and get deals on stuff are clearance sales. Those are the best, because, like, if a store's closing down and they're doing a clearance sale, everything's going to be 60 to 80% off, and they're actually going to be off because they just have to get rid of everything. Like, they don't really care about business. The store's closing down anyway. They just have to get rid of everything. So then, like, depending on the type of store it is, then you could go crazy on that, for Christmas gifts and stuff like that. Those are like, that's my personal shopping, money saving tip to you. Clearance sales. Those are the best ones. You'll get 60 to 80% off on most stuff in most clearance sales, solely on the fact that the store's closing down. They have to get rid of all their inventory. So they're just putting it off. They just want to get rid of it. They don't really care about the money they make because they're closing down anyway, right? So those are the best places to get real deals. Actually save like $50, maybe more. But Black Friday is just this whole big marketing scheme. So understand that. And once you understand that, you can be more wise, more smart with your money. Don't just be an impulse buyer. Be intentional. Buy some good things, of course. Use your money in a good way. Don't overspend on stuff, obviously. But that's the thing with Black Friday, is that they will make you do that, and it will be a temptation. Think about the temptations of the devil. Really, Black Friday is a temptation for you to go and spend more money. Because at the end of the day, you will spend more money. You're going to say, oh, I'll just buy this. A lot of people will just buy this. And then again, you have to bundle it with something for you get it even cheaper if you bundle it with something, or you get it even cheaper if you I don't know, you pay some other fee or whatever it is, and then all of a sudden you've spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars on stuff that you really didn't need, and you didn't really want either until you showed up at the store, or whatever store you showed up to, the mall, and did your Black Friday shopping, and then you just went crazy. So you have to control yourself. Be honest with yourself. Don't be an impulse buyer. Be honest. Have an idea what you're going to go look for, what you're going to go buy on Black Friday. See if there are actually good deals there. For the most part, there won't be, but see if there are. And if there are, that's great. Go out there, pick it up, get those Christmas gifts, get those shoes that you want, whatever you want, right? If it actually is a good financial decision and it actually does save you proper money, go out and do it, right? That's what I say. That's the Black Friday tip. Go out and do it, but don't be an impulse buyer. That's it. That is what I would tell you. That is my little spiel, my little rant on Black Friday and why I really don't like it anymore. I've never heard Black Friday more times in my life. So I really, really just starting to loathe it. I'm really starting to just say, all right, man, just screw all this crap, all this noise, all this talk. And let's just, focus on life, right? Focus on the bigger picture of life rather than go out there and spend a lot of money on stuff that is not actually cheap, that's not actually on sale. It's just a facade. Instead of spending money, save it, right? Save the money, invest the money into things that will actually help you grow in life. That is my opinion. You can take that the way you want. It's all good. You can comment all the hate comments. It's all good. I don't really care. So just understand that. Understand that Black Friday is just this whole big facade. It's not real. At most, you'll save $20, $30, and that's great. So go and do that, right? Go and do that. Go check it out. Go check out stuff. And just be responsible with your money. That's really the ultimate overshadowing lesson here of this whole Black Friday rant and spiel, is to just, be intentional with your money, control the controllables, control your emotions, don't buy on impulse. Buy if you actually think it's a good thing. Either you need it, or you're actually getting a big deal, or it's a Christmas gift that you want to buy and you're getting a deal on it. Only buy for those reasons. Don't buy for any other reason or any other impulse at all. And you'll save your money. You'll do better in your life. And these are things that you can take even on your day-to-day to just be, more shrewd, more honest with the money you spend, and more real, keeping track of it so that you can truly do better, invest, grow in life, so and do better every day. So just don't pay attention to Black Friday. It's a normal day like every other thing. And it's actually a little bit worse because it's all marketing schemes and sales schemes. So just don't pay attention to it. Work to do better in yourself, and don't be an impulse buyer. That's it. I'm done with my rant. I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to go back to my virtue series, talking about whatever next virtue I decide to talk about. I will not spoil it here. So how you can do better in your life every day. Black Friday is another reason to go and make that decision to do better, right? Instead of being an impulse buyer, be the person that is shrewd with their money and only buys if there's actually something there. So that's it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you tomorrow for the next video, where I'm going to be going back to the virtue series, talking about the next virtue and, how you can continue to live a life with Christ, with God, with Jesus, and continue to grow each and every day through His will.